Hello and welcome to Ascended Astrology. In this video, we're going to be talking about Cancer rising, Pluto's recent ingress into Aquarius, which occurs in your eighth house, and then we're going to take it over to the DMT codes. The whole point of this really is to create a frequency for you to be able to consciously attune all of this information to. This does not have to make sense, but stay tuned till the end of the video to experience this coding. And then let me know what you guys think. Okay, let's get into it. So, Cancer, the planet of transformation, is transiting your house of transformation. So, this is going to be really exciting. Okay, the eighth house, Pluto is all about death, rebirth. He's he's seen as the destroyer, even though ultimately it's like these um things have to always crumble so that the next thing can evolve. But it's like it's just our attachment to what we think it's supposed to be that really causes the suffering behind that. So Pluto gets kind of a bad rap, but I don't agree. um I love this, and I love the transformational energy of it being like both the planet and the house. So Pluto can be seen as at home during this transit, as his energy is very closely related to aspects of the eighth house. So this feels very powerful. But the topics that are included under the eighth house, like I mentioned, are going to be kind of more in your face and obvious. I will say, for those of you who are asking, like, this does not mean there's no real concern for physical death during this transit. But death around you will have kind of a more deep and profound influence on you potentially. And again, this is a 20-year transit, so chances are somewhere in the next 20 years you will experience death around you. So that's more on like the physical space, but the way it can affect you deeper is going to be like kind of these topics as the meaning of life or what happens after death, like that kind of thing. So of course, with this placement, there are opportunities for interests in the occult. And I will say, with Pluto just being so intense and mysterious, like there may be this urge, this desire to kind of delve more into the mysteries, like I mentioned, the occults. But I will also say just be cautious of kind of how you're searching for those things. So if you are primarily delving into other people's teachings, um, it's not really going to quench real that real questioning inside of you. So my best advice um, would be to dig deep and kind of sit with yourself and allow the mysteries to be shown to you through the intelligence that resides within, instead of trying to go out and figure out everybody else's answers for the mysteries, especially in the grander scheme of things. With Pluto moving into Aquarius, there's going to be so much information, and later on this year, possibility for a lot of misinformation. So I would just say really sink into what are your mysteries, but also what are your answers, because you do have them all inside of you. Um, okay, and then the other thing that this transit is going to hit on is joint finances, okay, and debt. So I would highly suggest staying out of debt if possible, but that's kind of common sense. But if you do go into debt at this time, it could feel a lot more visceral, a lot more there could be a lot more anxiety around it, and kind of have a heavier power over you. So if possible, stay out of debt. That being said, if you are in debt and you're experiencing this transit, it could show up as like, oh my gosh, I have to get out of debt right now, just because of the intensity. But that's not the case either. Like you have 20 years, like you have some time to start uh, kind of dealing with that. And it's not like, oh, I got to jump in, like I need to be debt free by next week. So even if those feelings or anxieties come up, just sit with them, know that that will pass. And I will say also, in regards to joint finances, there is a shadowed program side of this that, when it comes to joint finances, could show up as power struggles with this transit. So, yeah, power struggles or dynamic control issues. And really, like, all Pluto is asking is for you to change what needs to be changed before he has to come in and destroy everything so that the change will happen. So, again, if there are some power struggles, if there is some of this control issues, see it as information, look at what needs to be shifted. If you haven't done anything about what needs to be shifted, that's when Pluto will come in and kind of wreck it. So just be aware of that. There is this possibility for inheritance during this time, but there has to be a lot of other indicators in the natal chart for that to be for that to, for that possibility to play out, but it is definitely still there. Okay, so let's see if there's anything else. Okay, right. So a lot of transformation here. Ultimately, I'm really actually very excited for this one. Okay, so now that we know kind of what the programmed energetics of this transit can bring, we are going to shift it into the DMT codes to ascend it. So this is based on the zodiac, the planet, and the house. So our code today is going to be 4228. And we're going to do that now. So if you're new here, I'll walk you through this. You don't have to understand anything that's happening. I invite you to just sit in the frequencies and to feel into it. Okay, so we're going to start. So go ahead and place your hands on heart. And we're going to breathe in a white blue light. So just breathing in a white blue light in through the nose. Let it trace along the brain and down the spine and out through the heart. Again, just breathing in the white blue light in through the nose, trace along the brain, and it's raising the frequency of the spinal fluid and out through the heart. This is just attuning your ascended DNA. Go ahead and open your eyes, and we're going to start with the 4. So with your physical eyes, I want you just to see, look at the card. And I want you to attune your consciousness to the frequency of the symbol. Once you feel that your consciousness is attuned, go ahead and close your eyes and bring the symbol in through the center of your forehead into the pineal gland and allow the symbol to spin. And as the symbol spins, it is releasing a frequency that you can attune to consciously. So just allowing the frequency to enter the entire body, every single cell. As the body is attuned to this frequency. And then just opening up your eyes as we bring in our next code, which is going to be the 22. So again, seeing with the physical eyes, looking, and just soften the gaze and allow the frequency of the code to attune. In closing your eyes, you can bring the symbol into the center of the brain, activating the pineal gland, releasing a very specific frequency of the 22, allowing it to move into the ionic grid. You can see it as an energetic system in the body, a quantum body, just allowing it to tune the body. That's good. Go ahead and opening the eyes again as we bring in the last code. So again, soften the gaze, take in the frequency of the 8, tuning to the 8. And once you feel you have matched the frequency of the symbol, going ahead and closing your eyes, bringing the symbol in through the forehead, allowing it to spin in the pineal gland. And the 8 is going to release very specific frequency, watching as it floods the body, lighting up the electrons, lighting up that quantum body, that ionic grid. Feel free to stay in this frequency as long as you would like. And my intention here really is to, anytime you may be experiencing the shifts or the energies of this transit, this house related to your sign, planet, just allow yourself to bring in this code. And now that it has been activated inside of you, consciously attune to that frequency of 422.8. Thank you.